ready when you are.
All right, I'm here with Keith in Herndon, Virginia. We have completed some work for you, Keith, and Keith's been kind enough to share his experience with roofing and more. So Keith, what was your problem and why did you call us into your home and give us this opportunity in the first place?
Sure, Kyle. Initially, and I've had it for probably a year or better, I had a leak in one of the ridge vents, I was confident, which is at the peak of the roof on an addition on the back side of the home. So that was my primary objective, was I had to get it was dripping down the drywall and staining the ceiling. So that obviously had to be taken care of. That was the original reason I called. Plus I had some other concerns about the drip edges, which are right at the shingle, the roof's edge, right at the gutters. They were all coming loose. And so I was concerned about water deflection into the gutters as opposed to perhaps into the house. So that's what was the driving force of my calling you.
Great. So when your project consultant or estimator, I personally came here to your house, when I showed up, how did that go? What was your experience? Did I provide solutions? Did I give you good information? What did you see when you experienced that part of this whole process?
Right. You who were here, as I recall, Kyle, you spent about 3 hours here now that I think about it. I mean, you were very, you reminded me a little of other people that I've worked with that care very much about really the quality you deliver and being thorough or comprehensive in your vision with regard to repairing not only the leak, but I pointed out the drip edges and also my concern, as a matter of fact, I didn't mention up front, the guttering out on the front side of the home had been leaking on the front stoop since I took occupancy here a couple of years ago. So we had a dialogue, conversation, and we got to the core of the first problem, being the ridge vent leak, and then the other problems which were concerns, which were the drip edges and the gutter leaking or dripping. And you were thorough and comprehensive and took the time to really climb up on the roof and do a thorough inspection. And your findings really were in line with, because I am particular, and I do inspect work. So I had a good idea of what I needed, but not completely, because it's not my profession. And you really uncovered a lot of the things. You took a comprehensive video, and we sat down. My experience was good. You were concerned about addressing the immediate and looking at the overall comprehensive solution.
Great. Well, I like to hear that good stuff. Did you get estimates from other companies at all? And what was your experience with those compared to us?
I did. And the follow-up on 2 of them did not occur. There was never any follow-up. There was an estimate, I'm sure they're busy, moved on, never followed up, which always causes me to pause and think about, is it just the volume and numbers? They weren't as comprehensive in their approach relative to the things that I wanted addressed. And so having had the opportunity, frankly, you were the last person, and it wasn't like I was trying to bid this thing out to many contractors. It was a function of, I also had other things going in life, so I get interrupted with my point of getting this solved. But ultimately, I chose not to go with them because you were more thorough and complete, and your price and the value that I could perceive that was going to be delivered was where I needed it to be.
Right. When I came here, I had told you, I laid out a map, so to speak, a direction of how everything would go once you decided and you moved forward with us. And I told you specific things like you'll receive a call from a coordinator, you'll be scheduled, this will happen, that will happen, and I gave you a process. I'm just curious, did everything go exactly as the way I told you it would go as far as the overall installation, scheduling, the contact, the communication with the company?
It did. And you know, the biggest caveat is if inclement weather came, obviously we were going to have to make modifications to the schedule because you don't want to have a roof opened up like ridge vents. We didn't have that problem, so everything went as you said it would. Coordinator and Alex, one of the other gentlemen, did their pre-work to the ridge vents, drip edges, and the gutter guys showed as planned, falling down. Everything was done, and the cleanup was, I couldn't tell they had been here.
Wow, that's great. Let me ask you a question about the investment amount. You invested an amount of money in this to get this project done,
Right.
and that cost something. As far as the value compared to the investment amount, do you believe you reached or achieved equal value or greater value than you expected or than your investment amount?
Much greater value, because in all fairness, my roof's about 10 years old, and we would have had a different conversation if I had a roof that was compromised. For the investment cost amount, definitely exceeded my expectations, and it's not so much expectations, but I inspect, I guess, what I expect. And I am thorough in particular, and I looked at all of the different elements. The value was far exceeded what I spent, because the leak's fixed, the gutter doesn't drip, the cleanliness of the work, the bigger gutters, larger downspouts, the drip edges were all coming out. They were fastened in a fashion that now deflects the water to the gutters. It was far exceeded my expectations.
Great. I really appreciate it. Keith, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your business, and as always, we want to build a relationship, and anything that we offer that you could use of our services in the future, we would ask for the opportunity.
Absolutely, I would definitely consider that.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.